Hey everyone, good morning to you all. I hope you're well. Um, Welcome into my live, guys. How's everybody doing? Everyone's having a blessed day. Um, Everybody okay? Hope everyone's well. Hello Glitch, how are you doing? Can you show us your morning routine? I don't really have a morning routine. What about I don't know. I don't really I don't really have a morning routine. Hello Ronnie, how you doing? Good to see you again. I hope you're well today. So yeah, I'm just on here for a bit. It's quite warm, isn't it? Yeah, it was really warm last night. Warmest night so far, I think. It's meant to get up to 23 degrees apparently, but apparently some places are going to possibly get thunderstorms. There's a thunderstorm warning, but looks like we're going to get some quite warm weather for the next few days now. So yeah, so if you're not into that, then yeah, just brace yourself. It's going to feel like the next week or something. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're all well. Welcome in here. How do you think of the new background thing that I've got? I thought you did morning stretches and meditation. Yeah, but I don't always do that in the morning. Like, I don't have a specific time to do that. I love a good thunderstorm. It would be nice in this weather just to kind of freshen things up. But yeah, like sometimes I'll just stretch, but it'll not be kind of like, I don't really just think about, oh, I'm going to have a stretch. Sometimes I feel like the need to stretch at a certain time, and I'll just kind of just have a bit of a stretch. But I mean, yeah. And then meditation, I usually do like later in the day. It just depends how I'm feeling. Like if sometimes I feel like I need to recharge. It's like a way of recharging. I find that's most of the reason I do it, but I'd also get the benefits of just that kind of switching your brain off. But yeah, it's just I kind of got to a point where I don't really have specific times to do certain things. I just kind of do it when I feel like it. I mean, I know I'm on the like autism spectrum, but it's like I used to be very much into routines and stuff like that. But more recently, I'm not really that much into routines anymore. I'm just very much kind of just do things whenever I feel like it. Because it can be quite stressful to be like in routines and just like having to kind of do things at a certain time. You've got to just be able to kind of be more, kind of just go with the flow really, and not be too kind of rigid with that kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, I hope you're all well today. Share this out if you can. That would be really appreciated. So what do you think of the background that I've got? Do you like it? Should I change it? Let me know. But yeah, I think I'm just going to focus a lot on live streaming now, just try and do more of the live stuff. And then, yeah, because also trying to do shorts and stuff. So I've noticed that my shorts seem to be getting a bit more views and stuff, but it's just, just got to keep doing it, keep putting out the content, and hopefully it will, things will work out. But yeah, but like I said before, just try and not sort of be too focused on outcomes, because then, it can be a bit kind of, when you're so focused on an outcome, that can stress you out as well. And just I really like the background. Jenny, the other one was a bit too much going on. This one looks more professional. Yeah, I had one last night that was probably all right as well, but I thought I'd try this one out. But yeah, it did look a bit kind of, maybe it was a bit cringe or something. It was a bit kind of, it looks like weed, so that might put some people off, I guess, if, Anyway, I don't want to put off the wrong impression, so I'm not into all that stuff, but I mean, it's like if people want to do all that, then that's cool and all that, but yeah. But yeah, share the live, guys, if you can. Right. So yeah, so it's probably want to have it kind of for professionals, put off that kind of more professional kind of vibe, really. It's like first impressions are quite important. Even though I would say to people, like, don't just, judge a book by its cover kind of thing. Like, you should, kind of take the time to kind of really figure out. But anyway, yeah, you definitely don't want to give the wrong impression, but people can do as they please in their own environment. Yeah, no. People can be kind of like, it's like sometimes people have like the prejudice and all that, and they assume certain things about people or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, people can get a bit like that. It is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? But anyway, so who else have we got in here then? Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to talk about on here, but maybe give me some ideas. But yeah, like the whole morning routine, I don't have a morning routine, and I'm just like, I don't really have routines as much as I used to. Yeah. And there's this whole thing about morning routines, like this frigging Ashton Hall guy that's gone viral, and it's like, and then that guy's been outed as like a roidhead or something, and just a complete fake. And people are saying that he's a scammer as well. I'm not saying he's a scammer, but it's just but there's a lot of these people out there out to just kind of, all they're interested in is making money at no matter what cost. Yeah, first impressions, that's the problem. It's like, they say it's something like, is it 8 seconds or something like that people make their mind up like subconsciously about somebody within that first 8 seconds or whatever it is. And it's not really fair, because there could be a really nice person or whatever, but then they could perceive them as just something off. But sometimes it can be there can be something to it, but it's like, yeah, but it's just, we can't be too quick, we can't be too hasty, I think, is the problem. It's like people generally are like hasty, like in terms of like they need, to kind of just, I don't know, it's like people just tend to be very quick to judge, or quick to, they need to have something right now. They're like, it's like that whole instant gratification. It's like people it's just human nature. It's oftentimes to be quite hasty and not very patient with things, and not willing to just like let people kind of give them a chance to show who they really are. Or yeah, it's just anyway, there's a lot of things I really hate about human nature. That's just, I don't know, it just sucks. And yeah, it is what it is, really. But humans can be quite, almost like vile creatures at times. Well, they are at times, but there's like varying degrees of it. Some people are just so like ruthless, and it's like, when you get all this cutthroat competition in like business and stuff like that, and they're all they care about is their own success, and it's like it just gets so rough, and just like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it just sucks. When, I suppose the problem is that one of the problems is that there's like scarcity um, yeah, like the whole scarcity thing of like, there's only so much resources to go around and all that. Do you always wake up earlier? I mean, I usually about depends what, but usually about I'll usually get up about the same time kind of thing. So you could say that's kind of like a routine in a sense that like but I don't get up like exactly the same time, but it's like, but I don't want to get up too early because I want to make sure I've get enough sleep. Sometimes I'll wake up really early and I'm like, okay, I need to get some more sleep. Always find myself waking up between 7 and 8. Yeah, but sometimes I'll wake up earlier than that and I'm like, I need to get back to sleep because I haven't had enough sleep. So there's this thing about Oliver Anthony, who's like, that's the guy that did that song, that country song about like the working class and all that. And so apparently, his wife is leaving him and trying to take everything. Hello, Logan. How are you doing? Am I AI? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But yeah. So basically, yeah. There's this whole thing of like, when you get like someone, let's say some guy starts trying to make a lot of money and then he's with this wife who's a frigging gold digger and then she wants all the money. So that's a kind of dangerous position to be in as a man. This is one of the things where men can get really screwed over, but I would say that you would need to have like certain things in place to try and prevent any of that. One of the things is, I know some people say prenuptial agreement, but apparently that can sometimes be overthrown. But like one of the things you could do is if you've got a lot of money, then is you could put it into like a trust fund. Well, not a trust. No, it's not a trust fund. I mean a trust, they call it. That can sort of be like, it might cost you a bunch of money. Hello, Clawhand and Kun and friends, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. So if you want to just prevent yourself getting screwed over in a marriage, then if you've got a lot of money, then you like don't want it to be taken, then you can put it into a trust. Have somebody else, like a third party, own your stuff, so that way your wife, when you divorce your wife, that she doesn't get to take everything. So that's one of the ways you could do that. But I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's just kind of messed up. I don't really agree with the whole divorce and then the person gets to take half of your stuff, whether it's a man or a woman. I think it's a kind of messed up system that we have still, I think. And I don't think it should be that way. I think, I don't know, it's just, yeah. I don't think just because you marry someone that means that they're entitled to half of your shit. But because it's like times have changed now. I mean, yeah, at one time things were different with like how, men were seen as like the breadwinner and, women were seen as like the stay-at-home mum or whatever. And then it's like, so maybe it would have made sense back then. But nowadays I just don't see it really kind of, why are they still doing this kind of system? It's like, I don't know. And you could say, well, if the woman's contributed something, then she should be able to get something. But I think it should depend on how much she's contributed, and same with the man or whatever. It's like, I don't know. But then you could say, well, that's difficult to really kind of quantify or something. But surely something better can be done than to be like, the person be able to take half of your shit. I reckon a lot of them wouldn't even bother to get married to them because they wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. And it's just, I don't know, I can be a bit cynical at times and just like, there's always going to be people out there that are trying to take your stuff, whether it's scammers, whether it's just people trying to just use the system in their favor, trying to exploit things in their favor. Like, it's like people will weaponize certain things, but yeah, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Make sure you subscribe to me if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. I go live every day, so this is, I'm even on a couple of times a day now, but I'll see how I go with this really. But But yeah, Clawton's doing good. Yeah, what you all up to today then? Has anyone got anything planned? But again, guys, share this out, please, if you can. I'm trying to build this channel up here, so just to help me out here if you can. I'm trying my best here to just reach more people, and I want to see my dreams come true with what I'm doing. And hello, regular Bob, how you doing? Welcome to the live, Bob. Is your name Bob then, or is it just a stage name or something? But yeah, welcome to the live. Nice to meet you. So yeah, I just think there's a lot of just ways that people get screwed over just every day. That's like, I don't know. It's just it's one of those things, The system itself is what's that? Oh, Bobbington. I kind of read it as Boobington for a second. I feel like I've let myself down this morning, Jimmy. I've ordered a Subway off Just Eat for 1 foot long meal deal plus delivery charges. It was almost £20. Yeah. So it's not even just like the food isn't necessarily the healthiest, but it's the cost of it that's crazy, isn't it? Because you got all the delivery cost. The food itself isn't cheap because it's all like, I mean, people say like McDonald's is cheap, but it's like, I mean, I suppose relatively it is, but like, I would say like Subway is even more expensive than that. But yeah, 20 quid, that's a lot for a sandwich. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, there's just, with all this inflation and all that and everything costing more. But it's like, I feel like they're just kind of exploiting the whole thing of like, cost of living crisis. But it's like, why does things have to cost more? It's the same stuff and it's costing more money. And it's like people need to start waking up to this whole reality and thinking, why is it that this money is not worth anything now? And some people are saying, it's because of, I was looking into this thing about like oil and all that, and I was watching this video and it was talking about like with the dollars and how it's backed by oil and it's all a scam and all that. And it's, I mean, but there's all these companies are just taking advantage of it all. There's no reason why things have to cost more. And why aren't people's wages going up in relation to that? It's like, it's not like it's harder for them to make these products, is it? Harder for them to make a friggin' sub or something like that. If anything, it should be getting cheaper because the processes of making things should be getting more efficient. So actually over time, things should actually get cheaper, With more technology, it becomes more efficient. I think these corporate firms just trying to make more money. Yeah, but it's like people need to start questioning like, well, but they weren't making it's like they were able to, get by before. So why are we letting this happen? We all need to come together and be like, fuck this, As I was watching this video saying how, we should all be trying to like protest against this stuff instead of all the bullshit. Especially a lot of these protests over in America, but I think there's a lot over here that I just feel like are completely a waste of time. And the people, if everyone could just come together and protest against what really matters, that like the cost of living and all that, and the fact that the government's trying to like, impose their, restrictions on, say, like small businesses and stuff like that, which makes it harder for them to actually get established. I mean, another thing that's a problem is the fact that there's so many so many buildings that are just being empty and they're not being used for anything productive. And I think that's an absolute scandal, really. People pay, in a prime example of it, that's why I'm disappointed with myself, as I know it's a rip-off, yeah. But it's like, we can't just accept it, though. It's like people just accept these things. It's like people will go out and protest over something like, I don't know, some issue, whatever. People will protest about whatever kind of, gender identity or whatever bullshit that doesn't really affect most people. But yet, it's like, I don't know. It's like how bad the things have to get until people start to really want to do anything about it. And not that they don't want to do anything about it, but it's like they're too apathetic to do anything about it. Like it's like people want change, but they don't want it bad enough, I think, is the problem. It's like, if you want something bad enough, you will try and make it happen. It's like, for example, if you're unhappy with the way you look then you're going to try and do something about it. You're going to try and do whatever diet and exercise it's going to take. You're going to find a way. You will keep searching and find something that works. Whereas if you don't want it that bad, then you'll just kind of you'll be like a victim and be like, oh, complain, oh, I wish I was, was one of these people, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people will just like rather complain than actually work towards, kind of change. And that's sad really, but yeah, anyway, it's like people don't want it bad enough, I think is what it is, but either that or they just don't feel like there's anything. Maybe it's not that they don't want it bad enough. In some cases, it's just that they feel like it's futile to try and do anything about it. But if we all have that mentality, then nothing's ever going to change. It's like if we could all collectively change that mentality around things, then maybe we could actually get something done. But the problem is, it's easier said than done, but it's just, what are we supposed to do? We can't just accept this. We can't accept higher prices on things when they're not paying us more. It's just, I mean, yeah, you might get paid more in some cases, for some people, like their wages go up a little bit each year, but I don't think a lot of people are finding that it's going up in relation to inflation, like in the same amount. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well today. But it is all a rip-off, all these countries pretty much are a rip-off nowadays. That the system's all rigged, and it's just, you've got these big companies just making more and more money. Look at like the top billionaires, how much they've actually accumulated wealth over the last few years, especially during the 2020 fiasco. They've basically been making more and more money. Their profits have gone up, whereas the average person, they're struggling more and more. So you've got destruction of like small business. And I think it's all by design. It's like they want everybody struggling at the bottom, whereas the people at the top, they are, rubbing their hands together and being like, oh yeah, we're we're laughing all the way to the bank, because they've got everybody by the balls. They've got society by the balls. And they've got everybody just, doing whatever they're told at their job. Hello, Lil. Are you from Birmingham? You sound like you are. No, I'm not. I don't sound like I'm from Birmingham. This is how they talk this is how I talk if I was from Birmingham. That's not like how I talk at all. Chips and gravy. You want a cup of tea? Yeah, that's like a Brummy accent, but anyway. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, share this out if you can, guys. It would be really appreciated. So, what are your plans for today then, everybody? Got 8 people in the house. Welcoming everybody. Guess we've got some lurkers here. So, but yeah, I just feel like the system needs to change. And it's just, there's too many people, I think, that are just kind of happy with it. It's like they're happy enough to not really be kind of really wanting to make any changes. There's a lot of people out there that just, they get their Netflix, they get their, their fast food, and they're just happy with that, I guess. But it's like, well, why are you just going to be happy with that? You're just going to let them, sort of, you're going to let them control you. You're going to let them, it's just that they give you just enough to like not question the system and how messed up it is. But no more than that. It's just they want you to be just an obedient wage slave, basically, is what they're trying to do. It's like, look at the education system that was designed to basically turn people into obedient slaves. That might sound like some conspiracy theory, but it's actually true that the people who invented the education system, they created it as a way of control and getting everybody to just, just behave. You look at like in fact, I remember watching this thing on the classrooms. They look very much like, like the schools in general. That the schools look very much like prisons. It's like you've got the playgrounds that look like prison yards, and then you've got the classrooms look like they're in a prison. It's like the layout is very similar. It's kind of spooky in a sense of like, oh, it's like this. So it's almost like it's like a prison, because it's like they have certain things where it's like, oh, you can't leave until a certain time. It's like, I didn't really like school. It was just, I don't know. There was bits of times where I would have liked school, but I just feel like school is just another part of that system that they have you go at certain times and you have to do certain things, and it's like, of course, we need to like have an education of some sort, but it's just because the way that the system's set up, it's like, well, your family can't really, do that, because then they're having to make so much money to be able to like do that. I think one time maybe like parents would have, like maybe your mum would have like helped out to try and, teach you things, and because when she was at home with them, they would have, taught them things. Maybe they wouldn't have needed school in some cases like that, because, the dad would go out to work, earn a good living, come home to a family that, that loves each other, and they're just like, but nowadays, you got people going out to work, they come home, and there's nothing there. There's no family there. Maybe they'll have some roommates, but they don't have that kind of, in a lot of cases, they don't have that family there to love them. And yeah, it's just, it's really a messed up time that we're in, that, so I feel like I was born too late. Like, things were different back at, maybe if I was born even 10 or 20 years earlier, then things would have been different, but it's just the way it is. We just kind of have to learn to accept it and just try to navigate it the best that we can. But it's just not even just the whole money thing. It's just the whole thing of less community now. People are becoming more distant from each other, but at the same time, you can still find people to connect with. And there is benefits of social media as well, that you can use it to find local people who are into the same things as you, whereas maybe at one time it could have been harder to do that, but at the same time it has isolated people a lot as well. So the question is it a net positive or negative? You look at how society is, it's one of those debates, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, share this out, guys, if you can, and subscribe if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. I'm on here every day, so yeah. Okay, we've got 2 people in here apparently, so okay. Yeah, just, I don't know, someone just say something, I guess. Just to say hello or something like that, so that I know that you're watching. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just kind of ranting here at the moment. So if you've got anything you want to ask, if you want to ask anything about health, fitness, or anything like that, let me know. Yeah, I just want to keep focusing on, oh, you're listening, okay, cool, Bob, yeah. Keep focusing on growth and not focus on negative stuff. It's like, I don't watch the news because I feel like it's all a distraction. Quickest way to lose love handles, I would say you're going to need to be in a calorie deficit of some kind, like say, whether that's through eating less or moving more or a combination of both. Because, I mean, there is no conclusive science at the moment that you can just spot reduce fat. I mean, so I would just suggest trying to just be in a general deficit and trying to just, just don't be in too much of a deficit though, because that can put you into starvation mode. I'd try to just aim for about between 0.5 to 1% of body weight per day. That's what I would suggest. So, for example, if you weigh about 200 pounds, then I'd look at, losing it between, not per day, per week. So 0.5 to 1% per week. So that would be about 1 to 2 pounds per week. So yeah, so basically that would be over the course of like, like a month, then you might start to notice something if you just stick to it. And yeah, but it's just, but maybe it's like for some people it could be, 500 calories a day, something like that of deficit. So you could do that through, through exercise or through eating somewhat less. So you could still eat the same foods, but smaller portions is what I'd say. Try to, portion control it a bit. So for example, if you like certain food, you can still have it, but if you can just eat a little bit less of it, or you could swap out certain foods for like more healthy versions of them that have a little bit less calories. For example, swapping out a certain kind of bread for one that's, got more fiber in it, so it fills you up more, things like that. So you can, so there's ways around kind of diet but also exercise. I'll just say, walking more is a good one for that. It says, ideally you want to be burning more calories than you consume. That way you're in a net calorie deficit. So it's all about calories in versus calories out. If you're eating, more calories than you burn, then you're going to put on weight. If you burn more calories than you eat, you're going to lose weight. And if it's the same, then you're going to stay the same. So this is something that people just need to understand. It's a basic kind of law of thermodynamics, and that, you can't just make it appear out of nowhere. It's just, everyone's got their own metabolism and stuff, but you have to find out your metabolism and look at sort of either increasing that metabolism or decreasing your food to where like the metabolism, to lower than the metabolism. Anyway, so how are we doing today? I hope you're all well. Share the live out if you can, guys. That would be really appreciated. So, but yeah, like I said, the love handles should go away once you're in enough of a deficit for so long that you're burning fat off. And not bad, slow weekend so far. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's slow here at the moment. Just feels a bit kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know if it's kind of humid or something, but it feels like the air is a bit kind of, I don't know. It does feel a bit more humid today, possibly. Oh God, it's meant to get to like 26 degrees on next Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be like warm for like the next few days. I prefer it to be like, I don't know, as long as it's not, it wasn't too bad yesterday because there was like a breeze. If there's a breeze, then it kind of makes it more fresh. But yeah, I've noticed that since I've put on weight and I'm getting more muscle, my thermic effects is like getting more, and it's like, I don't know if that's making me like get hot more often now. Because back when I was skinny and all that, I was like, I wasn't really getting that hot most of the time. And I get cold quite easily as well. But nowadays it's like, I don't get cold as much and I'm getting hot quite easily. I've noticed, so yeah. But your body will get used to it over time. If whatever you put, kind of stress you're putting on your body, you will get used to it. So over time, if you give it not literally any stress, but like, you know what I mean. Anyway, I've got 6 people in the house. I hope you're all well. Feel free to ask questions. But yeah, I'm just like, I just gotta like kind of try to just stay healthy and in the mind and the body, they all kind of go hand in hand, really, don't they? If you're healthy in the mind, then the body tends to follow, and if you're healthy in the body, then you're probably healthy in the mind too. It's because it helps with your mental health as well. By doing regular exercise, you can actually at least somewhat improve mental health. So anyway, so how's everybody doing? I hope you're all well. So yeah, feel free to ask questions. So I started on a new supplement. I'm gonna see how that goes. What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, I guess it's maybe a bit early for some people. So thought I'd come on for a bit and see how it goes, really. But yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of the regulars in at the moment, but that's okay, I guess. They'll probably be here later and next live, but yeah. So yeah, so you guys like the new backdrop? I've been trying out different ones with this prism thing. The only thing with this prism is it like drains the battery quite quickly. So yeah, I've noticed though that my view seems to have kind of gone up a bit. So I don't know if that's a coincidence or whatever, but I do seem to have had a bit of a increase. Yeah, not bad. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks like Christmas. Maybe I should change it if it's like, I don't know, because there's a few ones that like, if it's not Christmas, so it doesn't really kind of. It's like there was this one but that one looks kind of. I had that one last night. That one kind of. The only thing is it blocks. I'll just put this up a bit. There we go. So you can kind of like. There we go. So you can sort of like see the. Yeah. Or I could put that at the bottom, couldn't I? So I could try doing that. So I could put that there. Yeah. Yeah, that would work. So that one kind of looks smart as well, I guess. Like, yeah, just trying out different things really to improve the lives and yeah. Yeah, how are we doing, everybody? I hope you're all well. It's like you can choose between like quite a few different backdrops. So, but yeah, I think that like weed one, yeah, probably not the best. But some people liked it, but it's just one of those things that it might give off the wrong impression. Going back to the whole thing of like, yeah, don't want to give off the wrong impression, do you? Yeah, so sometimes the thing is with impression, sometimes I can come across as rude. I remember like when I was like I'd go on a phone call with someone, it's like someone would just like ring me up out of the blue and I would kind of just come across as rude because they've just kind of rung me up out of the blue and I might have been doing something. I'm like, I don't like it when that happens. When someone just randomly calls me like that. And it's like, I don't know, but I'm trying to deal with that and just trying to be more polite, I guess, but that's an issue I've kind of been dealing with. So anyway, so yeah, how are we all doing today? I hope you're all well. Again, share this out if you can. What you guys want to talk about then? Anyone got any topics you would like to address? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing today. Probably not a whole lot. Maybe some more working out and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Do I like sports? I'm only like the fitness stuff, really. Like, I'm not really a big sports person. If I do sports, it tends to be into more of like the kind of, you could say like the more casual type of stuff, like bowling, crazy golf, that kind of stuff. I used to like pool, but I've not played that for a long time. Yeah, I used to go out and like play pool with like a few mates I had at the time, and yeah, we used to go out like every weekend, and it was quite fun to like for a while. But yeah, but then they stopped doing it, and then they went somewhere else, and I was like, but then I stayed doing it with one of them for a while, but I remember I would kept beating him a lot of the time because he wasn't very good at it, and I'm not even that great at it myself. But that's saying something, you know. If if I can beat someone that much at it, then they mustn't be very good at all. But yeah, pool was like I actually prefer it over snooker, but I think with snooker is like it can be a bit more complicated in that like it's more tactical and you have to think moves ahead and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, how can you really plan out moves ahead? It's difficult because there's just so many variables. It's like you don't really have time to be like thinking, oh well, this person could do that now. I need to make sure to like line it up in a certain way to like block that person. It's like it can get very complicated. But I don't know. I think pool's just a bit more of a casual game. Just can, it doesn't take that long usually as well. It's like, yeah, how's everybody doing anyway? Hope you're all well. I remember we used to have like tournaments playing pool and stuff. Like we would try and compete and yeah. I remember there was this game that I used to play called Killer. Someone was showing a while ago where what you'd do is you'd have like your kind of pool whatever pool table with and balls and all that, and then you'd like instead of playing it like the normal pool game, what happens is you had to like whoever's going, they have to get a ball in, as long as it's not the white ball, but like they have to get like any ball in. It doesn't matter, because if they don't, then they lose a life. It's like they have like, I think they start off with like 2 lives or something or whatever, and if they put the black ball, they get an extra life. But it's like, yeah, it's quite a fun little game. But it's yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever played that one, but yeah. Another game that we played was just like a time trial where you just have to try and get all the balls in as quickly as you can. So you'd like do like a stop clock or something, and you would see how long it takes you to get every ball in. Don't think so, mate. All right. Yeah, there's all sorts of games out there, aren't there? It's like, yeah, there's all sorts of different. It's like, yeah, card games, for example. I used to like doing that and stuff. It's just like I like some of those and stuff like that. I like different games and whatever you like. Yeah. I haven't played any of that for a while actually, but yeah. Anyway, guys, can you share the live out, please? Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people coming in at the moment, so just I appreciate you sticking around. I don't know. You just never really know how it's going to go on here. It's yeah, it's so unpredictable. Alright, let's have a drink. What's that? Yeah, it's 9:26 a.m. for me. Yeah, it's same here. So maybe some of them are still in bed. It is kind of early for like a Saturday, but I usually get up about the same time. Like I said, I'm not really I don't see the point in just laying in bed all day. But then some people, it might be because they go out, on a Friday and Saturday night, and they just get up late at the weekend. I don't do that. Yeah, is everybody okay? Well, come in here, everybody. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this whole AI girlfriend situation and like men choosing AI girlfriends instead, or either that or they feel like they can't get anything else or whatever. But True weekend hangover, yeah. And I don't drink, so it doesn't affect me. So I'd rather just focus on my own health and just not have to deal with all that. And I just can't really be bothered going out in these environments anyway. Yeah, I mean, as in like this kind of thing coming out of like AI girlfriends and stuff, like people having like kind of there's these apps that you can get where you can just there's a subscription where you can then kind of like customize like your own girlfriend or whatever, and you can just like talk to them like it's a real person, but it's like it's all fake. I'm like, I just don't see the point in any of that. When you'd be better off trying to go out and get a real one. It's like, what is the? It's all it's just all fake. Um, well, that's crazy. I know. It's just that's the state of work that we're in 2025. That that men are choosing, you know, digital girlfriends over real ones. But it is what it is. It's I'm not gonna complain about it, but. Right. Um, I don't know. I'm just yeah. It's gonna be a bit awkward sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, people have become very much like less, like I said, less social, and so they're looking online for that replacement instead of going out and trying to meet people. It's a path of least resistance for a lot of people. They don't have to deal with real world rejection. They can just do it from the comfort of their own home. It's just easy. It takes out the fear of it. But I think that it isn't good in the long run because it's just going to leave you feeling like you're missing something. I think is the problem. It's not all this. It's just very much, superficial and just going to leave you feeling hollow and just empty. Because for example, you get like the dating apps. It's just a lot of it's just lust and just. It's not about forming a genuine connection with people. It's about just hooking up with random strangers. A lot of it. It's like it's just been glorified to just sleep around, and then that's somehow, like something that we should be, trying to do, even though a lot of people end up regretting it, and they feel used. They feel like they've used people or whatever, and it's just there's no real connection there because it doesn't mean anything. If you just open yourself up to just sleeping with random people, then what you're telling them is that you're just someone that anybody can have access to, and that you're treating the other person like that as well. It's just you're treating them like they are just disposable, like they're not special. So that's the problem with this whole situation. But people just aren't getting it. It's like I keep hearing people talking about sex and whatever, and it's like it should be something, in my opinion, should be something sacred between two people that love each other, and not just be something that's become this sort of like, what's the word, like a commodity, like some kind of thing that we just, it's such a kind of a very sort of like meaningless thing of just pleasure. To me, it should be something a lot more deep, and it's like been turned into something very shallow and very much just about lust and just anyway. But it's like maybe for a while I kind of just bought into the whole thing of like, oh well, it's just all that. But it's like go out and get laid and like, but then like I start to think to myself, why do I even want to do that? I kind of had like a sort of light bulb moment, you could say, where I started to realize, hang on a second, why do I even want to do that? Because I come to realize that the only reason that I had that in my mind was probably feelings of insecurities that because other people are doing it, therefore you feel like you're falling behind if you're not, and you feel like a loser or something like that. But someone who's really confident in themselves doesn't feel the need to just be going out and sleeping with random people to feel validated. Yeah, I know that's what it is. It's just a general thing of modern society becoming degenerate, and that's why I just can't really relate to a lot of people, because of how far a lot of people have become from my ideals of like what I would want to be. Like I'm not just gonna wreck my body. I don't want to. I'm not interested in talking about a lot of the things that a lot of people are into, like all the pop culture or whatever nonsense. I mean, yeah, I'll watch a few shows. I'll put some stuff on YouTube or whatever, just kind of. But I'm not so kind of like into just. Like I said, there's all the gossip around certain things. People will be talking about, oh, did you hear this thing? It's like, I don't care. Any plans today? Not really. I think we already went over that, but yeah. Well, actually, I think we were just talking about the whole morning routine thing, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't really have that. I just don't really connect with a lot of people, I've come to realize. And there's some people I connect with, but the people I tend to connect with more are the ones that are a bit more kind of, you could say the ones that are not so caught up in this system, the ones that are a bit more free thinkers, the ones who don't just go along with whatever narrative and whatever, kind of BS. The ones who are able to be like, I don't agree with all this shit in this society. And yeah. Anyway, so what are your plans for today then, Glitch? So it's just, I kind of had like I said, I had this light bulb moment where I realized that the whole fucking thing is a joke, and I'm like, the whole system is a joke, and the whole thing of chasing after, materialism and like random hookups and things like that is just completely pointless. I need some advice. It all started a few months ago. Okay, what's that then, Titch? What do you need advice with? It's like I come to realize that I don't even need all this material wealth, because what is that really going to get me? It's not going to make me happy, is it? Because when you really start to kind of, you start to kind of look inwards and think, okay, well, what do I need to be happy? One of the things is connection, I would say, is an important thing. Having that connection to people, and whether that's your family, friends, whatever. Another thing would be having a purpose, or having, something greater than yourself that you're part of. Maybe that's just being able to give advice to people, It's like, and also being able to like self-improve, being able to have hobbies that you can work towards goals with it. And so these are things I think that are crucial for like mental health and feeling satisfied in your life. going out and experiencing things as well, like, you know, going out, maybe experiencing different cultures, and that's another thing as well. When my neighbour came around asking for sugar and then keeps coming back for more and more different basic essentials, so finally yesterday that they came and asked to borrow money. Well, yeah, just tell them to do one, you know. It's like, what have they done for you? You know, if they're not doing anything, the thing is, if you keep on doing it, they're just going to keep on, you know, it's like you have to, like, just cut the cycle of, like, just, you know, people take your kindness as a weakness. So I'd say just stop doing that. Just stop giving in to the whole, you know, just like trying to be nice to people or whatever. Because sometimes it is actually a weakness, but sometimes people just like to help others, and that's good. But like, you have to also realize that some people, you know, they're selfish. So why would you want to help them? Why would you want to help bad people? So anyway, I wouldn't trust someone with like borrowing money. You know, if they've been begging for shit. Hello, Sapphire, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're well today. Thank you for stopping by. So, you know, it's just, if they just keep begging for things, then yeah, I wouldn't trust that, you know. Anyway, so hope you're all having a blessed day. Yeah, just keep the chat flowing, guys. So I'll stay on for a little while longer, maybe till about 10 o'clock. Then I'll probably go out and maybe get some food. I'll probably do a short later. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to share some of my magic stuff again, but yeah. And people seem to like that video I did when I did the magic trick, so yeah. Maybe I should share some of that on my channel. Because I'm like, my channel isn't just about the fitness stuff, it's just about me, about what I'm about. I like to perform magic, I like to entertain people. Read my above comments. Okay, hang on a sec. I was on the spot and felt under pressure. I buckled and gave £10. I simply said to them, I can give you this and I don't want it back, but please don't ask me again. Well, they're just probably going to keep doing it if they see you as weak, so I would just don't do it, you know. It's easier said than done, but like, just you've got to learn to have the balls to just kind of tell them to fuck off and just slam the door on them or whatever, and just yeah. And then they won't come back then, I don't think. Like, people become too kind of yeah, afraid to like say no to people. It's one of the most powerful things you can say to people is no. Yeah, okay, no problem. It's like just saying no to people can really be a way to kind of, you know, like assert your boundaries, because I think that's what it comes down to, is you need to have firm boundaries that you will not let anybody cross. And that goes for like anything, whether that's friends, family, a relationship. You know, if somebody does something like to disrespect you or whatever, then you need to cut that person off. I mean, you can say, well, someone that can get a chance, and then if, let's say, you know, someone, you know, they disrespect you, but then you need to say, you know, you can't be doing this anymore. And then you could say, well, you could give somebody a chance, but then after that, then you should just say, well, you know, that's it, I'm done. But some people believe in no second chances, but what do you guys think? Like, if someone disrespects you one time, then that should be it, or should they be able to have one chance and be like, to, you know, learn from that, and then, but I don't know. I hope everyone's well anyway. Share the live out if you can. Let's have a quick drink. So yeah, who's still in here then? So it's apparently just 2 people left in here now. So Sapphire says that's true, Jamie. Don't other people don't follow the rules and boundaries. There are crazy people on here, people here on YouTube. I know there is people like that. You know, it's like there was this person trying to kind of call some shit the other night on my chat, like somebody from some other channel that I go to. I don't know what kind of problem they have with me, but they obviously don't like me for some reason. It's just not really on to be doing that. It's like, if you don't like me, then maybe just keep it to yourself, because you're not being helpful by coming in and saying stuff like, you're just as bad as such a person. It's like, well, okay, well, you know, if you tell me like why you think that, then maybe I can learn from that. But it's like they just come in, it's like they have no reason to do that. They're just trying to just say negative shit for the sake of it. Another thing is when people give unsolicited advice, where they're just trying to say that just to try and kind of be nasty and just kind of make it seem as though they're trying to help you and try to give you advice, but really they're just trying to just be a nasty piece of work and just try to make you feel bad. Hello, One Dark Rep. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so you like the new setup that I've got. I tried another one, but someone said it looked like winter, like in the snow or something, but I thought I'd just use this one. It kind of looks professional, and yeah, because I want to try and go more in that kind of more professional direction with it, really. All right, thank you, Sapphire. So is your name Sapphire then? That's like a sort of like precious stone, isn't it? Something, because I remember there was like a street in the town I used to live, Blackburn, called Sapphire Street, and it was full of like different. There was Emerald Avenue, Emerald Street. There was what was it called? Yeah, there was quite a few of them like that. Yeah. Anyway, feel free to ask questions, everyone. I'm live every day, so hello, Father Michael Catholic. How you doing? Would love to send you a gift from the church. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, a food hamper for taste the difference. Products from M&S. I don't know about that really, but thank you for the offer. But yeah, so where's everybody from anyway? It's nice to meet you all. I should try and get some more long form stuff out, but I haven't really got around to doing that lately. It's just the views seem to kind of be stagnating on it, and I was like, okay, is this really worth it? I'd rather focus on something that seems to get me more bang for the buck, if you will. Yeah. Well done, Jay. Good eating for you, young man. What do you mean? Yeah, so looks like it might be brightening up a little bit. So yeah, it'd be good when the sun's out, because it's just, when it's dull, it just kind of affects your mood a bit, doesn't it? I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but when it's a bit dull, it can be a bit like meh, you know. M&S food, yeah, it's good, like quality stuff. It's like Waitrose is similar to that as well. But yeah, it depends if it's something that kind of is part of my diet though. I'd have to kind of check what kind of food it would be, but yeah, I don't know. Where's this person even from? Like, it's a bit random to be like offered that, but the offer always stands if you have a PO box address or collection from Northamptonshire. Okay. All right, well, I'll let you know about that. Okay. So yeah, Northamptonshire's like, yeah, I've never been there, but yeah, not sure if there's any like anything to see there particularly, but Anyway, so is everybody okay? Sorry if I'm boring you guys, but I don't know. Alright. It says there's one person, but that can't be right, surely. Yeah, I'll just do a few more, about 10 more minutes, guys, I think. We'll just see how this goes. I don't want to be on here all day, but yeah, Sapphire, are you still there? But yeah, that's a nice name if it's your name, but yeah. Yeah. So what are you all up to this weekend then? I seem like I'm just repeating myself, but yeah, I don't know. Just trying to fill the air in, you know. So yeah, one dark rep, like how many push-ups would you be able to do in one set without stopping? So I remember like Mark was saying he could do the 175. I don't know if he can do that now, but he said that that was like his record or something, which is crazy. Like, I saw somewhere the average guy can do between 20 to 30. I'm not even sure if that's even accurate, to be honest. Maybe 20 to 30 is more of people who actually train. I don't know. Because it depends on if they're actual like proper push-ups or whatever. You see a lot of people saying they can do 50 push-ups, but then they just do a bunch of like half reps. So does that even really count? Oh, I've got one thing, like apparently, right, when you do a push-up, they say to get more out of it, to like pause at the bottom. And it's same with bench press or something, that because there's this thing called elastic recoil where when you're like just bouncing, it's like you're just bouncing it, and it's something to do with like a thing called elastic recoil, and that causes some I don't know, some kind of force or whatever, and it just causes it to just get, it's kind of like, some might say it's cheating. So for example, if you're doing a bench press and you're like, it's like to do a true PR, then you'd actually don't want to just go down really fast and then come up, because that's like, it might be like the momentum or whatever that's, there was a thing called elastic recoil or something. I don't know enough about that, but it's they say that can make it easier or something. So by having a slight pulse down at the bottom, that kind of cuts that off. Can I connect to your friends, please, Jamie? Well, it's up to you. I mean, people can connect to each other if they want. This is for like people to make connections. So yeah. So I have no problem with that. Go ahead. As long as you don't spam people, then that's fine. Hello, Jerry. How are you doing? You've not been doing any busking lately. I was thinking, like, because you said you were doing busking last weekend, was it? There was Pride last weekend, wasn't it? So I'm wondering if that helped with making more money. You said you made like £70 in 3 hours, which is about £23 an hour or so, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, have you thought about doing like PayPal or something? Or there's actually Buy Me a Coffee as well. I might look into that as well. But PayPal is like an option where you could print out a QR code. You could have people scan it with their phone app and then send you money that way. So that could be an option to make some more money. So you could just see if you can get it printed out somewhere and just, you'd get it like laminated or something and just, so I have it somewhere and I need to like try and use it and see if it works. Because potentially it could, if I do go busking again, I could make more money that way. But I don't know. But there's also that, yeah, like I said, Buy Me a Coffee. I need to look into that as well, I think. That could be a way to... The thing is with these things, they do take somewhat of a cut from people's donations, which is kind of annoying. So I would encourage people to just, use actual money to donate, because then it takes out the middleman. that's the problem, is when people are paying with like when they're using these machines to have people pay, it's like there's a middleman taking money out. For some people, it's just, I guess it's more convenient for some people to do it like that, because then they're not having to deal with all this money all the time. Like if they're using the machine, they don't have all these coins everywhere. Just that makes things more kind of tidy, I guess. But there is a cost to that, though. So I don't know why every company is doing it. Maybe it's just for like convenience. But some of them, I think, take like 1 point something% or whatever of every transaction, which can be significant because, let's say your profit is, let's say, a certain percentage, then it's like, you're eating into that profit by doing that. Because it might have like a markup of, let's say, in some cases, 10-20%. So that 1.5% might be like 10% of the profit or something like that. So it could be quite significant when you consider it as like a percentage of the profit. But I don't know if, because like maybe that can be considered as like a business expense. So that might be something that they actually use as a way to, I don't know if they can get like less tax that way. I'd have to look into that actually. Is that something that people use as a tax write-off by saying, oh well, this thing cost like a certain amount to like process the transaction. What they call them, like colored like fees for I'm just wondering if people, you be in Leeds today outside the train station? All right. What time will you be there? Yeah, so it says yes, you could, if you use like Stripe or something, and then like, so like it make a bit less money on the sale, but you can include these fees as an operating expense. This means you can claim tax relief on them, helping to lower your tax bill. So yeah, if you're paying tax, then you could use that as a way to lower your tax. So yeah, so there's like ways around like tax and stuff, like for like businesses. But yeah, how is your dad doing? Hope he's well. As last time he was concerned about you busking, it didn't put you off. Yeah, I don't know, I've just kind of been a bit, the amounts that I was making from it was a bit low, and I was like, I don't know. So I've just been looking at this whole, like, what is it, the PayPal thing. I was thinking about, maybe using that as a way to make more money from it. So maybe I'll try it again. But yeah, he was a bit kind of like funny about it. I think it was just because I didn't really tell him about it. Because I was a bit worried that they might think it's like weird or something like that. But then they ended up finding out anyway, and it just made things more awkward. Because he tried to call me in the middle of my session, and he was worried that I could get arrested or something. I'm like, no, like, you're allowed to do it. You don't even need a license in York, but the thing that was confusing is that Leeds, I tried it once, and then someone stopped me. Like, and they were asking me about license. Well, I think they were just saying like keeping the noise down, but then they didn't have my record on there, and I'm like thinking to myself, well, they said online I didn't need a license to perform in Leeds. So do you have a license there, or what? Because I don't have a license to perform anywhere. I'm just like, hopefully it'll do well then. Fingers crossed. Actually, thinking about it, maybe I could go to Leeds and check it out a bit, and maybe go to the calisthenics park. I don't know yet. I'll have to have a think, really. Maybe I could do that. You can get a license from local council for a small fee, but yes, I've got one. All right. It's just, it said something about Leeds that you didn't need to have one, but for certain areas they need to have one or something, which is kind of like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just that this whole thing of like red tape and all this shit, you know. It's like with businesses and stuff like that. It's just, it gets a bit like much. This is what I mean. It's like they make it hard for a lot of the businesses to start up with all the red tape, all the need to go through all the bullshit to get started. It is what it is at the end of the day. So I don't know whether I should go out, try and get out to Leeds. It's just going to be packed on the bus, I reckon. If I go on the bus, it's going to be like, because train is going to cost more, but yeah. Anyway. I don't really have much else to do today, so maybe I could just film some stuff at Leeds, possibly. I don't know. I could do I don't know yet. I don't know if there's any point in me going there, because I can do everything I need to do here anyway. So I don't really need to go to that one, but yeah. But I could do actually. I don't know. We'll see. It has this fun like equipment. It's like a sort of. It's called a handlebar, and it's like an exercise thing that you can do. But it has some like cool bits of equipment and stuff. But I don't know. I'll just think about what I want to do today. It's just that. Yeah, I don't want to be out all day and all that. I just want to, yeah. But I don't need to be out too long, I guess. But it'd be better to be going out than staying in, though. All right, take care, Jerry. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably wrap this up soon, but if there's anyone got any more questions that they want to ask, there's not a whole lot going on here at the moment, so apparently there's still 2 people watching, but yeah. Keeps on saying that the device is getting hot. Yeah, it's just like setup where there's a lot of stuff going on the screen. I think it's yeah. Anyway. Anything else before we go? So we'll be back about probably 7 p.m. UK time. Or I could go to the gym today, actually. I could do that, actually. Maybe. Yeah. I could just have a session at the gym. And see how I get on there, but yeah. I might have another try on the rowing machine today and see how I get on with that. Yeah. So I could do like a bit of I'd do the 1,000 meters again and see how quickly I can smash that. because last time I did it in 3 minutes and 54 seconds, so I want to see if I can improve on that. I don't think the beta-alanine is probably going to be getting much effect off that yet, but we'll see. We'll see if I can improve on my time. I want to see how quickly I can go with this stuff, so yeah. I just want to push myself to my limits. Use any means that's kind of natural to get there. Don't want to be like kind of leaving anything on the table. I want to make sure that I'm performing at my absolute peak. Otherwise, I feel like I'm missing out. I don't know. I don't like to feel like I'm missing out. I like to feel like I'm doing everything that I can to optimize. Without getting too obsessive, of course, but yeah. So it can be difficult for me where I might start getting really obsessive over little details of things, but I'm trying to get out of that, really. Because it can get a bit much sometimes, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, just let me know if you're still watching, guys. Right, there's 4 people here, so yeah, I might do a session at the gym today, actually. Yeah, try the rowing machine. I might do some weight stuff as well. But just lurking in the background, watching out of the haters not to bully you. I will keep you safe. Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm just, yeah, should be fine. But yeah, it's just, you're always going to get some negative people here. It's just part of it, really. It's just part of the, you know, it swings and roundabouts, as I say in it. You know, you just got to deal with all the adversity that comes your way. But I'd kind of take it as a badge of honor, because for someone to have that energy to hate on someone, then, you know, then to me that, in a sense, is kind of like, means that, well, you're affecting them in the way that, if you was not really doing that well, then they probably wouldn't really care. They'd be quite just, you know, indifferent towards you, probably. I'll just do about 5 more minutes, guys. I'm not in a rush, so yeah. I'll probably just go and get some food shortly, so yeah, just, and then I'll probably go to the gym for a workout. Just see where I'm at with some of the weights and stuff. See what I can lift. Because sometimes I like to just kind of see where I'm at, even though I do mainly calisthenics workouts, but I find that some of the calisthenics stuff is kind of like, where does it translate into like being stronger in the gym? So I don't think you necessarily need to be like, you know, necessarily even using weights. You can use your own body weight for most things. So yeah, hit the like button, guys, if you haven't already. Yeah. I wish that I could like film in there, but it's like, it's gonna have like music playing, and it could be like mess up with like the copyright and all that. And yeah, I don't want to be messing around. Also, like having to get permission and all that. Otherwise, you can end up in trouble. So I'd rather not have to deal with all that. Because some people have said, "Oh, why don't you film at the gym?" It's like, you know, it's not that simple. Yeah. Because it's like, even though it's kind of like a public place, but it's like, well, you have to pay to get into it. So it's kind of like private in that sense. So the people there are like kind of, it's like if you're, for example, if you're filming in public, you're allowed to do that. it doesn't matter who's in the shop because you're on a public place. Whereas as soon as you're in somewhere that's someone else that belongs to someone else, then they have the say on, what goes there. It's just yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone's well today. So yeah, I want to see if I can beat the 3:54 time. So apparently the record that someone's done a 1,000 meter row is, I think, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Yeah, so apparently the fastest woman was at 3 minutes and 11, and the average man was, I think, 2 minutes and 38. That's probably because, men tend to be a bit, stronger, especially, in their upper body, so they're able to, pull with, more force, so they can, get more of the reps in quicker. Yeah. Yeah, when I looked for the men's time, it was 2:38, apparently. With average stroke rate of 40. Well, so yeah, I want to see if I can get down to about 3:30, or a bit less than that possibly, but it'd be cool if I could get down to a 3 minute, but I don't really think that I'd necessarily get there, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to kind of be, yeah. Because sometimes we have these self-limiting beliefs where we think, oh yeah, well, I'm not good enough because I don't have the genetics or blah, blah, blah. But then if you've never tried, then you'll never know. If I can get down to a really good time, then I could share that with people and that could inspire them. So if I'm already at 3:54 and I don't specifically train for that, I suppose maybe some of the exercises have helped a bit with the body weight rows and stuff like that, but that's a bit different because that's more strength. But when it comes to rowing, it's more kind of stamina. You've got to keep, it's there's more endurance to it. There's more muscular endurance as well as cardiovascular endurance as well. So it's you're getting those things in there. So it's a good well-rounded workout, I find. And you're working out almost every muscle in your body when you're doing it. You're going to work some of your lower body as well because you get the leg drive when it comes to that. But I think it's mostly an upper body workout. But it's it's a good one for conditioning your cardiovascular system as well as strength endurance, because you're obviously, there's an element of resistance that you're just kind of having to keep on pushing and pushing. So yeah, let's go for it. I want to keep improving on my times and stuff, and see how this, beta alanine, if it helps me out with it a bit, Let's see where I can go. Anyway, so what's up, everybody? Is everyone okay? I'm gonna get off in a second, but yeah. Yeah, it's this thing where most addicted generation, yeah. Yeah, it's just people trade in one addiction for another, basically. And arguably some of them are not even healthier. It's people trade in smoking for vaping, and it's become this sort of accepted thing. I think that's the problem. It's even if it isn't arguably quite as bad, but it's become a lot more normalized. It's obviously smoking isn't, they try not to normalize and be people even try and say, it's really bad for you and all that. But then with vaping, it's seen as cool. And I don't agree with that. any kind of addiction is bad if, it's like addicted to sugar, addicted to. And you've also got a bunch of like sex addicts now as well. Like I said earlier about this whole hookup culture, and it's just turned a bunch of people into fucking degenerates. I know I keep using that word a lot, but it is true though. There's so many degenerates out there these days that are just kind of pathetic to me personally, but each to their own, I guess. But I can't help sometimes but give out my personal opinion on things, and some people might not like that, but I think it's better to be honest with what I think about things instead of just trying to self-censor, because a lot of people self-censor because they're afraid of upsetting people or offending people. But I don't care. Like, it's your problem if you're offended, is how I see it. So if you can't take it as like, yeah, I don't know. We've just got to like learn to have a thicker skin, I think, and just not let things offend us, really. But yeah, is anyone else still in here? Let me know. I enjoy coming on here and chatting with people, and we try and get to know each other, and yeah. What's up, everybody? Is everybody okay? Let me know how you're all doing. What do you guys want to talk about then? I probably won't be on much longer. Like I said, I was going to get off already, but sometimes I'll just start talking about things and I just kind of get carried away. That's just me. Sometimes I'll say I'm going to get off, and then 10 minutes later I'm still on, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, It's like, I need to just do what I say I'm going to do. And that's my problem sometimes, where I'll say one thing and then do another thing. Like, for example, I kept saying I'm going to do this traveling stuff, and then I just never got around to doing it. And people just kind of just see it as a joke, because I'm like, I keep saying it, and then it's like, okay, whatever. Is that you just saying it? So I need to actually practice it. It's just that I would get distracted with something else and then do that instead. Maybe it's because of like, it's this whole thing of procrastination, and like, if something's daunting to me, then sometimes I might just choose something else that feels more in my comfort zone or something. And yeah, that's an issue I need to probably work on, really. We'll have things that we need to work on, I think. So is everybody okay then? Is no one going to chat? Apparently we've had 209 views on this live, so most of them haven't actually said anything. Be nice if people could come and say hello or something. All right, last chance before I go then. But at least this gives me some kind of like, there's a form of like socializing, I guess. But so I like to do things on my terms. I don't like to be in groups where I feel like I have to kind of just stay in it, unless it's something I feel like I don't know. There's my issue sometimes where I'll be around certain people and I just feel like I just don't fit in. And I don't feel like I can just leave at any moment. Because they might want to stay out, and I'm like, I don't really want to, but we have kind of figured out ways where I can just kind of go back, say like they'll just give me the key if I'm fed up. So at least then it's been good that they'll try to make accommodations. So I appreciate that, because like there was this guy who I was out with like the other week, like a couple of weeks ago. I was like at this music festival, and we were just kind of he wanted to stay out later, but he said, "Oh, I'll just give you the key, and you can go back earlier and just yeah." So I didn't have to stay out. But in some cases, like people might you might not be able to do that. So I don't know. But it's just sometimes people will be in certain groups and I just don't really feel like I connect with it, and then I'll just get bored and want to go. But then you'd feel like you don't want to kind of like let people down or something. But all right. I think like yeah, the rowing stuff is like one of the things I seem to be doing the best at. So maybe that's something I need to really kind of focus on a lot going forward. I think with running is like I find that if I try running quite fast, there's just a lot of impact. I just find that it becomes quite uncomfortable, especially as I put weight on. Like trying to run fast, it's just I feel like it's just I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of impact. I think doing some running is good, but like yeah, I've just come to realize that I don't know. It's depends on where you're doing it, I suppose. There's certain environments that it's more nicer for that, I suppose. Hello, whoever's just joined. Spotlight, is it? Welcome to the live. I hope you're well. But I quite like rowing. It's just kind of, I think it's just because it's more suitable for my kind of. I like to just use it as like do like the kind of, like 1,000 meters. I can be quite kind of explosive with it and just try to kind of work on the endurance as well. Yeah, how are you doing? Hello, Mohammed. Hope you're well. Nice to meet you too. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, guys. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, I'm going to try and beat my record on the rowing machine. Currently, it's 3 minutes and 54 for 1,000 meter time trial. So I want to see if I do any better today. And I'm going to keep trying to outdo it. I'm looking for genuine friends. Yeah, well, welcome in here. It's we're trying to connect with each other, and yeah. But yeah, we're all trying to just make connection here. So just introduce yourselves, guys. So yeah, where's everybody from? What's everybody's names, all that. So like I said, we'll be getting off. I might just give it till 10:30 actually, and then I really will be getting going. But I thought I know it's this whole FOMO where I'm like, I'll stay down and I'm like, I want to keep going and see where it goes. But yeah, so I'll let you guys know how it goes with the 1,000 meter rowing, because I want to see if I can improve on the last time. Yeah, because I want to. Yeah, maybe I can get below 350. I don't know. We'll see. Angel of the North. Oh yeah, that's Sunderland. Yeah, I thought Angel of the North was. Hang on. Angel of the North. I thought it was Newcastle, but wait a sec. Angel of the North is. Let's have a look. Angel of the North, man. It's like, what is it? Gateshead. Well, yeah, Gateshead is just south of Newcastle, so. Then Sunderland's just to like the east of that, well, sort of like southeast of Newcastle kind of thing. Yeah, it's so it's not too far from there. Yeah, from Tyne and Weir, man. I cannot do a fucking Newcastle accent, man, but I try anyway. There was that guy on the Big Brother. Big Brother! Remember that voice that goes, Dear 48, 8:48 p.m. Hello, Kai. Good to see you. How are you doing? how's your weekend so far? So like I said, I'm going to probably do a gym session today. I want to probably start off with like a time trial on the rowing machine. And then I might just do a bunch of like kind of, I don't know whether I'll do the TRX stuff or maybe just some bits of weights. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, Newcastle. Yeah. Well, yeah, Sundal is not too far from Newcastle, but they probably would get offended, some of them, if you call them a Geordie, though. Because, yeah, they might not want to be, like, associated with that. But to, like, the lay person, they just kind of all seem the same. Yeah. It's like if, for example, it's like London might have about 10 different accents or something, but like they all sound kind of the same to me, unless they're like posh London or Cockney or whatever. But it's like there'll be like different variations and stuff that are like slightly different. But to other people, they might all sound the same. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I've got about 5 minutes to go on this live. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, guys? Has anyone subscribed since I started this then, or? But yeah, staying hydrated is very important. You know, if you're not staying hydrated, then you're just not going to function optimally, and it's bad for you as well. It's like bad for your kidneys and all that. Your kidneys need to stay hydrated to be able to filter properly. Otherwise, you know, you're just going to suffer and can end up with kidney failure, and yeah, you don't want that. Got to take care of your health, haven't you, you know? It's like we've got to just treat our body like a temple. It's like, you know, we don't want to abuse the temple, you know, we want to treat it well, you know, with the right nutrition, with exercise, not stressing yourself out, not exposing yourself to too many toxins. So yeah, it's just, you know. Anyway, so yeah, who's still in here then? But yeah, I want to try and just like absolutely smash my time today. Let's see how that goes. Then I can share it with you guys. I doubt I'll be breaking any world records anytime soon, but yeah. But if I could get down towards like the 3-minute mark, then that would be cool. Because then you're getting towards like elite level then. I don't think I would ever like get a really good running time. I think, like I said, my body weight's gotten quite big now and a bit heavy. And doing anything more than say 400 meters would probably end up, it would actually be more of a hindrance at this point. But yeah, like back when I was like super skinny, I probably would have been able to work up to like sub 5-minute miles or whatever, and like kind of, I don't see myself doing that right now. But I mean, if I really just like focused all on that, then maybe I could, but I think I'd have more of a chance of doing well with the rowing machine. So who's still in here then? We've got like 2 more minutes, guys, before I wrap this up. 4 people still in here, so say hello if you're still watching. Yeah, yeah, been a bit quiet, but that's okay. It is what it is. Any more questions before I go? But yeah, I just want to see where I can push my body. Strength, cardio, whatever, mobility. I see what I can achieve. Like, we're all able to achieve far more than what we probably even realize if we just assert ourselves and we, kind of, we just kind of like are, we are determined. If we have that determination and that discipline, we can really achieve a lot. But yeah, it's just, it can take sacrifice, having to sacrifice time to be able to, to be able to make things happen. Hi Glitch, what are we doing today? So like I said, I'm actually planning to go to the gym and do a session there on the rowing machine. I want to try that out. I want to see if I break my time limit, my time from last time. So last time my time was 3 minutes and 54 seconds. I want to see if I do better this time. So like when you have like a time that you can sort of like aim for, it can give you that sort of like extra push, because it's kind of like if you have some kind of competition there, but you're competing against your own time. So I think just having either someone else to compete against or your own time is good. But I want to see if I can get in towards like the elite territory when it comes to like the rowing machine, because I want to just like see how far I can push my body. It's just like, I'm not going to settle for mediocrity, and I want to find out what the actual average time for a man is on the, because they were saying 3 minutes and something. I'm like, bullshit. All right, let's just have a look and see what time it takes the average man to do 1,000 meters. Actually, I suppose it's hard to really know for certain. 1,000. So I'm going to look on ChatGPT. 1,000 meter average. Sorry, what was it? That's put in rowing machine. 1,000 meter average time for a man. So according to this, a beginner should take 4 minutes to 4 minutes and 30. Does that sound right to you? And then it says recreational is 3:30 to 4 minutes. Then intermediate 3:10 to 3:30, advanced 2:50 to 3:10, elite/athlete is 2:40 to 2:50, and world class 2:40. I mean, how is it that a beginner can do that in 4 minutes to 4:30? Do you know anybody that's? I mean, like, as in the average person, I don't think is gonna do a rowing machine in 4 minutes to 4:30, because that isn't much more than my time. According to this, my time would be in that recreational zone, not even intermediate. So I'm just saying that doesn't sound right to me, but I don't know. It's like saying age considerations, peak performance, most fall in the 3 to 330 range if active. Yeah, so I don't know. It just seems a bit kind of. What do you guys think? Like, what is the actual average? Is what I'm looking for, but I think it might be hard to really know that. The actual average time for man rowing 1,000 meters on machine. So what are you doing today then, Glitch? Alright, so general average approximately 3 minutes and 40. I'm calling bullshit on that. Now maybe that's 3 minutes and 40 for the average man who trains, not for the actual average population. I mean, come on. If you had the average man of the population rowing, you really think they're going to do it in 3 minutes and 40 for 1,000 meters? You're telling me that I'm below average? I mean, come on, for fuck's sake. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Like, we're talking average in terms of the population, but it would be better if it would just say, well, we don't really know because we don't have data from that. Because they're taking times from everybody that tries. So if you've just got the average person who's out of shape and is unhealthy, then I bet you it's not even going to be like 5 minutes. It's probably going to be more like 6 minutes or something. You know, go and get your average guy who's just not necessarily the best shape and all that. I don't think he's going to be doing it in anywhere near 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So a lot of these numbers are just fucking bullshit. The thing is, they probably wouldn't really be able to know it anyway. So the thing is, you can't necessarily trust what you see on ChatGPT, is what I'm saying. Just kind of, you gotta have the discernment to be able to kind of, you know, look at it and be like, okay, this is just some bullshit. Apparently there's 10 people here now. Wow. Welcome in, everybody. How are you all doing today? Hope you're all well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. So, like I said, I want to try and beat my time. So that's what I'm going to do today. That's one of my goals for today. Just, see if I can keep beating my time on the rowing machine. I quite like doing the rowing machine. It's, it's just, because I do a lot of rowing movements anyway. It's just like, but I thought I'd try and do like, it's kind of like more of like a cardio thing. You get some of the cardio benefits as well as the muscular endurance. So like, yeah, maybe it's worth trying. But let me know, has anyone tried 1,000 meter time trial on a rowing machine? Because can anyone do even 3 minutes and 40 seconds or even 3 minutes and 54? That's my record at the moment. So I'm going to see what we do if we can smash that record today. But maybe I'll end up going a bit harder because I would really want to fucking do that. I've got to make sure to try and not go too hard at the beginning, because that's a mistake that some people make where they'll try and they'll burn themselves out at the beginning of it. So then they're like first minute or two and they're like, I think, oh shit, I've got another minute and a half to go or whatever. And they're like, for fuck's sake, I can't keep going at this pace. So you have to know like what pace you can maintain throughout the thing. And then maybe towards the end, if you've still got a bit of energy, you can then go kind of like sprinted at the end kind of thing, where you go really hard. It's kind of like if you're running a marathon, you sort of like try to maintain a pace that you, like a steady pace. And then at the end, if you can really sort of like, you know, really sprint that last bit, then, you know, then it's like, you can then just kind of use that last bit in the tank that you've got to really just like hammer that last bit. But like, yeah, it's just, anyway, I hope everyone's well anyway. Feel free to ask questions. Share this out if you can, but like I said, I won't be on here all day, but I don't even know why I'm still on, but I'm just, I don't know, I'm kind of like, to be honest, I'm kind of lonely and I'm just kind of on my own at the moment, but yeah, sometimes I'll just talk about some random shit. So I should do a gym session today, I think, and I might do some other things, I might do some, not sure exactly, but yeah, I'm going to try some different things. But yeah, just It's just the typical, innit? The views are going up faster now as I'm like towards getting off, but I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking I want to keep this going because I see that, yeah, the views are going up a lot faster now. So maybe there's a chance that, hello, Maroy, welcome in here. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, loving enjoying going live more again and just spending more time on here, you know. I did get into a point of like just losing that kind of, I don't know what it was, just feeling kind of like uninspired and whatever, and just yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you just never know what's going to happen with these things, do you? You know, it's just so unpredictable at times, but you just got to kind of take it all as it comes, really. I guess everyone's getting out of bed now, so maybe that's why the views are starting to go up a bit more. So I'm wondering if maybe I should start a bit later on Saturday if I'm going to do it in the morning. That way I can take advantage of the higher viewers or something. I don't know. But like I said, I think that's what I'm going to do today. Do the rowing, yeah, because I do enjoy that, like doing the rowing machine and just go for like a time trial. So then I can see like what my fitness is currently at. Because 3:54, that's a pretty good time, I think. But I really want to go to that next level. I really want to improve that cardiovascular conditioning and strength endurance and all that kind of stuff, and just really kind of just keep on seeing improvements, because that's what gives me a sense of no, I'm not from Norway. Why do you think I'm from Norway? I mean, that's a bit I don't know, why would you think I'm from Norway? I'm from Norway. Yeah, I'm from the UK. Anyway, so yeah, 10 people in the house. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're all well today. Can you guys share this out, please? That would be really appreciated. I'm just going to keep coming on here, you know. I'm going to make this channel get fucking massive. I don't fucking care what it takes. I'll go on fucking 24, not 24/7, but yeah, like as much as I can. I'll just like come on and I want to try and establish this channel and do something big with it. But like I said, the rowing, I want to try and get a good score with that. It's like, to me, it's like kind of see it as like a competition. I want to fucking get to world class level, or at least elite level, you know, to get to like where I'm like be taken seriously and then be like, oh shit, this guy's fucking fit. You know, he can fucking roll 3 minutes or whatever, you know, that 1,000 meters. I want to see if I can get to 3 minutes. I've got the potential to do that, I think. And I just want to see where I can go with it. You know, I want to, yeah, just improve my fitness, general fitness, you know, like strength and cardio. I've been improving a lot on strength, but like I really want to see where I can go with the cardio as well. I just want to try and be well-rounded, and yeah. Anyway, just keep the chat flowing, everybody. Yeah. So I started on the beta-alanine, so I want to see if that helps as well, just to see if I can improve the time a little bit. But it might be a bit early to see any improvements, but we'll just see how it goes. See if it helps with the that burn to stop that from happening so much. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what you guys been up to today then? Or what you guys getting up to today, rather? I feel like you're from Norway because whenever I watch your live stream, it's always day. Yeah, well, I think they're like 1 hour ahead of me, so yeah. I thought maybe I gave off a Norwegian impression or something, I don't know, but anyway. So what's up, everyone? Is everybody doing all right then? Keep the chat flowing. I'll keep going a little bit if you know, people keep coming in, but yeah. This is for you guys, so you know, if nobody watches, then I'm not going to do it, kind of thing. If people watch and they kind of hang out with us, then I'll keep on, you know, going live and building this up, you know. So if you want to help me get successful, then can you just like get it shared out, like the live and all that good stuff, you know. I'll try and 11 a.m. finish. What's that? Is that work or something, or what? It's like, are you talking about me to finish at 11 on this live? I'll just see how it goes, but I'm just, I want you to thrive, okay, thank you, but, you know, to try and, like, kind of do the best that I can really, and just I just want to like be the hello meme lord. How you doing? Good morning to you. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining me. What's your name, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? So yeah, I want to see where we're at. We're at with the rowing machine later. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think it's gone dull again. I don't know what's going on with this weather today, but yeah, I think it's just gonna be this like humid kind of day today. Even though it's quite warm, but I thought it was gonna start brightening up, but it looks like it's gonna be cloudy today. But yeah, it's all right, I guess. But yeah, what's the weather like where everybody is at the moment anyway? Is it good or is it bad? Like, what? Let me know. Yeah, it's just the weather just keeps changing up. You know why they call it the weather? Because they don't know whether it will or whether it won't. But yeah, make sure you welcome everybody in. I want to make sure everyone feels welcome in here. This is a place for people to come and hang out and make connections and stuff. So yeah, I want to make sure everyone feels like they're part of this. Any tips for fitness? So what exactly do you want to do with fitness? Because fitness isn't just one thing. It's like, are you talking about, in terms of like performance, or are you talking about improving mental? I'm just talking about improving strength, cardio. What you trying to do? I would just try to like kind of focus on what it specifically is that you want, and then we can go from there really. But are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to lose fat? What are you trying to do? Like a healthy life. I mean, then it's like, I would just say try to like minimize processed foods and just try to get into like an exercise routine where it balances strength and cardio. Because I would say that, it's important to have some strength and be able to, maybe do some like weightlifting as well as some calisthenics and stuff like that, but also have some cardio in there as well for like heart conditioning. Because if you have too much of one, not enough of the other, then it can leave you with these, kind of like deficiencies. And I think that we need a well-rounded program. So I'd just say like, maybe do some like circuit training could be good for that as well, or getting the best of both. Maybe start off with some burpees just to get yourself started. You could do push-ups, squats, things like that, just with your body weight. Just do them for high reps, and then over time you can build it up. You can start adding weight. You can start looking at some different exercises like bicep curls and different things to like strengthen up different parts of your body. It's just start off with basics first, and then start to kind of tweak as you go along. I mean, it shouldn't really be that complicated. Just start off with something. Start off with maybe even just jumping jacks, just to get going with it. Works your whole body. Do some like just doing different things really. But yeah, as long as you're mental and muscle, mental is important as well. And I think cardio is really important for the mental health gains as well as the heart benefits. But yeah, there is a lot of different types of exercises you can do to condition your entire body as well as your mind, and it can make you more mentally resilient as well. And I think that's a really good benefit of exercise, because it puts you into like an uncomfortable situation, allows you to push your mental resilience to the next level. Thank you for it. Yeah, no problem. If there's anything you want, any specific advice on when it comes to fitness and health, then let me know. But I'm on here every day, so I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Yeah, it reminds me of that whole kind of like, the hustle thing. But I feel like that whole thing of waking up at 4 a.m., there's no actual need for it. But if that works for you, then, then that's like great and all that. But personally, I feel like it's a bit of a gimmick. I personally feel like I can still get this stuff done without having to wake up at 4. But yeah, you just got to do what works for you, really. Anyway, my workout. So what do you do with your workout then? I mean, are you finding that you're like kind of improving on anything at the moment, or if you're not building muscle, for example, then you might want to look into how you're structuring things. Are you like have you improved your diet? Make sure you're eating enough food, eating enough protein, and all that kind of stuff. because it's not just about training hard, but you also need to fuel your body with the right stuff. You need to make sure you have the balance of carbs, fats, and proteins, so that way your body can function optimally with, like, when it comes to recovery, when it comes to building muscle, and having the energy to actually work out in the first place. Because otherwise, if you don't have enough carbs and anything like that, then you might feel like you're just not able to push yourself as hard, which can then slow down your progress and just So some people like try to demonize carbs, but I think they can be good for like an energy source through the workout, because your body will use some of that for like explosive type of exercises. And especially if you're doing things like plyometrics and stuff like that, you're going to want to have some carbs for that, I think, because your body really needs that fuel source. Yeah, so anyway, can you give me some suggestions for protein? I would just say, like, of course you've got protein powders and stuff, but I would just say that those shouldn't necessarily be relied upon too much. But I would say that just eating healthy foods, like whole foods, generally are going to be a good idea. It depends on your diet and all that, but if you're eating a lot of whole foods, then you're generally going to get a lot of protein just from that. I mean, but you might find that you might want to have a supplement with a protein depending on, how many calories you can get from, how many calories it takes you up to with the amount of protein. So, for example, some people might eat 3,000 calories a day, but then they're only getting, like maybe 100 grams of protein, but maybe they need a bit more than that. So they get a powder that's, low in protein, low in calories, but high in protein. Or you're vegetarian. So what I'd say is, like, then focus on, high vegetarian sources of protein. Of course, there's protein sources like cheese and eggs are quite high in protein. So that's something that you can incorporate if that's something that, like, if that's something that you eat, then of course, then you probably should get enough protein just from that, because they're very high protein sources. But also there's things such as like some meat, fake meat, not, but like things like tofu are quite high in protein. And anyway, I don't know if you ever had that stuff, but some people say that soy products are not very good for you, in terms of hormonally. But I've heard also that they're not that bad either, that it's just, unless you eat copious amounts of it, that it's not really that much of a worry. To eat beef, steak, eggs and stuff. Or really, I mean, I thought you said about vegetarian, but like eggs are a vegetarian source, but it depends if you eat eggs or not. But some vegetarians might not, but it's just, it's just gotta find what works for you. I mean, I don't even eat any like dairy or anything like that, so it's just it can be tricky. But I've learned to kind of get enough food from trying to eat whole foods, like nuts and things like that. Nuts can be a decent source of protein if you get the right ones, and also things such as even things like beans. They can be a good source of protein as well, especially black beans. Black beans are like one of the best beans for protein. Nice to meet you too. So what was your name again? So yeah, black beans are like quite high in protein, as well as also things like some seeds as well, like pumpkin seeds. They're good in protein as well. Oh yeah, you take care. Have a good day. Hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you for subbing. Yeah, I'll be back on later if you want to hang out. But anyone else still here? Still got 9 people apparently, so yeah, I thought I'd just stay on because it seems like it started to pick up a bit, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I should stay on a bit. It's typical, isn't it, I come on and then for half of it was dead, and then it started to pick up a bit. But yeah, just let me know if you're watching, guys. There's people just lurking here and just like, yeah. Anyway, let's have a quick drink. Yeah, so anyway, it's a bit dull, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if I can smash my PB on the rowing machine. So I'll be sharing it with you guys if I, yeah, smash it. I wish I could like record it or something. Maybe I should try and like, I could actually maybe take my phone in and then I could show the, maybe I could possibly show it as like, to screenshot it. Not screenshot, I mean just take a picture of it. So I could share that possibly. As long as it kind of stays on, like when I finish and yeah, and I can just like take a snap of it and I can put it on my community page to show like the receipt of it, you know? Because some people are like, oh, receipts or it didn't happen kind of thing, you know? But I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna give it a try and see, yeah, if I can smash that time. I think I can, because the thing is, last time when I tried to do the time, I'd already done a lot of working out before that, and I did it towards the end. So I was with my mate during the gym session, and we were like, let's do 1,000 meters. He couldn't do it because, you know, he had some issue with his foot, and he still has an issue with it. But yeah, but basically, yeah, but his I was like already somewhat kind of like fatigued from the workout. So I'm wondering if I'd even do better today, because if I could do it fresh, then yeah, that I should be able to really fucking smash it. I'm quite confident I could probably like really get a good time today, but we'll have to see. Right, anyway, who's in here then? Let me know if you're watching, guys. But go out and smash your goals, guys. You know, it's we should all be trying to do the best that we can. There's no excuses. We should all be, you know, getting out there. You'll feel better, you know, you get fitter, you'll feel better. It makes your life a lot easier. It almost feels like you live on easy mode if you get fit. Like, everyday tasks that would have seemed hard then become quite easy, because you're so used to like things being harder, then it's like, oh well, you know, this is like easy now. For example, if you have to like move furniture around and stuff, like if you're moving house, and that becomes a lot easier to do because you improve that conditioning. So that's what functional fitness is about. And it's like, it's not just about getting strong, but also being able to be strong and keep that, you know, like the strength endurance, if you will, because, you know, it's like being able to like be functional like that. It's going to help you with that. People are saying like that functional fitness is a scam, but to me it's like, it's the only true form of fitness is functional fitness. You know, all the other stuff is all just about vanity and just trying to look a certain way. That's not fitness to me. They could argue, oh, but all fitness is functional, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that what kind of function does lifting, you know, super heavy weight and then just putting it back down, lifting it up again for like a couple of reps, and then you call yourself fit? That to me is not fitness, because in real life, where does that actually apply? Because this is something that Pioneer was talking about, like with the whole thing of, where does this all apply? Where does, you know, kind of, it's like, because in real life, you know, that even like things like deadlifting, it wouldn't even be a thing, because with the way we would have to like lift things up would you require using different muscles, and we'd have to kind of, you know, use our biceps in a kind of you know, flexed position, whatever, and try to kind of grab it like that. Let's say if you're lifting something up off the floor, oftentimes it would be like that. Let's say if you're lifting like a log up off the floor, it's not going to be the same as, say, deadlifting off the floor. It's not a functional movement, really, is it? And the thing is, you wouldn't just be lifting it up and then putting it back down, and It's like you would lift something up and then probably carry it somewhere else. So you'd have to have that grip, strength, endurance to be able to, to maintain that grip there. But if you just kind of like are so much into, just going super heavy, then you're gonna like not be functional as much as if you incorporate some functional movements like stability and other movements as well, and just being well-rounded. That's what I think functional fitness is about. It's about being well-rounded, having that cardiovascular endurance as well as strength endurance. Because if you get winded just like sort of like carrying something up a flight of stairs, let's say you've got like, I don't know, like a 20 kilogram thing that you have to carry upstairs. Like, for example, like my mum had some like bath salts she used to have. And welcome back, how you doing? So like my mum had some like bath salts that she used to use. I think they were like the Himalayan salt kind of thing, but it was not the drug type. Of course, not anything to do with that. But basically, she had to like, sometimes I would actually go and carry it up for her because she couldn't manage it. It was like 20 kilograms, I think it was, something like that. And it was like in this box, so it was kind of awkward because there wasn't like any handles that you could use to like grab it. And sometimes that's not, you're not always going to have handles. Hello, Hussein, I hope you're well. I'm going to lose weight only by pushing up and sitting up every single day till 2 months. I would say that it's not the most efficient thing. I would try to incorporate some cardio movements. If you want to lose weight, one of the best things to do is high reps of burpees, or doing the high reps of like either star jumps or jumping jacks and things like that. Jumping squats and things like that are good as well for getting the cardio. If you just just around your house, or you could go for a jog or just walk around a lot. These things are all going to add up, but I would say just only doing push-ups and sit-ups, probably not the best. They're not going to burn that many calories on their own. I mean, especially push-ups, I'd say push-ups are not going to burn that many calories, because you're not training that many muscles. And the same with sit-ups as well. I mean, there's exercises that burn far many more calories, I would say. So yeah, you also need to make sure that your diet is on point as well. Make sure that you're not eating too much food. But I would say, just maybe don't go too heavy on the exercise, but because you don't want to end up tiring yourself out and also increasing your hunger. But yeah, because some people find that if they exercise too hard, they then end up, because they go into this above zone 2, when you're in zone 3, 4, 5, let's say, you're in the more intense zones of exercise, then you're more likely to feel hungry afterwards, is what a lot of people find, and they struggle to actually lose weight. And it's like you're not going to be burning that much fat. It's going to be more like glycogen that you burn in those higher zones, and then your body's probably going to like crave sugar afterwards, so you just don't end up actually burning any fat at all, basically doing that, or very little. If you're going too hard, if you're into the anaerobic exercise is good for you, but you got to remember that if you're trying to lose fat, then it might not be the best idea. Zone 2 is probably going to be one of the best ones for like weight loss, because it's almost exclusively like fat loss that you're getting from that, because you're not going above the lactate threshold. Once you go above the lactate threshold, then you start to burn more glycogen as a fuel source. That's where you get that lactic acid. But yeah, so the lactic acid is sort of like a byproduct of metabolism, I believe, and it's something that will actually, but yeah, so people find that they just keep on recycling it, but it's probably not the best for like losing fat though. Probably not going to be what I'd recommend. No problem, Hussein, but yeah, I would just say look at your more kind of moderate intensity to low intensity exercise, more steady state. I would probably say for weight loss. Some people find like burpees, but I would say you don't need to go too heavy with it. Burn glycogen, okay. Yeah, burning glycogen might actually not be the best for like weight loss, possibly. So use up energy stored on liver and legs, what do you mean? What are you saying here? I would just say that, yeah, but what's that? Are pull-ups helpful? They're good for improving lat strength, and so these muscles here in your back that are responsible for pull-ups like that, because these muscles here, they're responsible for that movement. When you're doing this with like resistance, you're pulling your own body weight up. That's going to work those muscles. It can lead to burnout or fatigue using up glycogen. That's right, but it can also lead to hunger as well. So yeah, burning glycogen increases appetite. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to see if there's an actual sort of article on this. It says, yes, burning glycogen can increase appetite. When glycogen stores are depleted, the body may signal increased hunger to replenish them. This is because glycogen, a stored form of glucose, is a readily available source of energy, and its depletion can trigger the body's mechanisms to seek more fuel. Yeah, whereas with fat, obviously your body has ample stores of fat. So it's not, unless you're getting super, super lean, then your body's going to so you could just walk all day or just jog for a longer distance, and you're not probably going to feel that hunger, the need for to eat more. But I would notice that, say, if I've been working out hard, I'll feel more hungry because it's more anaerobic exercise. So you're doing, that's the thing when people talk about resistance training for fat loss, but it might not. I think it's more for helping to, to maintain, a low body weight. If you put the muscle on, and then it's gonna help in the long run, I would say. But yeah, I wouldn't use resistance training as a way to lose fat, because you're probably gonna feel more hungry after training, doing that, and it might actually stunt fat loss, and you might feel tired. So anyway, but I would say, yeah, low intensity to moderate intensity cardio is probably one of or anything from just walking around to just doing a kind of jog or something. But the thing with running, for some people, that can be intense, and it can also be a lot of impact on the joints depending on how heavy you are and all that. But yeah, for some people it's just too much. It also depends on if you've got any injuries in your legs, and that would not be recommended. So you got to find what works for you. Can it strengthen my arm? What can? I mean, pull-ups can in your forearms, this muscle here, this part of your forearm, you can strengthen. If you do chin-ups, you're going to strengthen more this side. So if you're doing it at this angle, or if you're doing neutral grip pull-ups, you're going to strengthen this muscle here, which is called the brachioradialis. So this is this muscle that kind of gives the arm a bit more like a 3D kind of shape to it. But so depending on how you do it, you're going to work different sides of the arms. So yeah, so I would just say that if you're overweight, I would recommend trying to lose fat first, because you're gonna find that, yeah, you just try and get down to a certain level. I would just say that doing resistance training might actually hinder that. It's just, if you're trying to do two things at once, trying to gain muscle and trying to lose fat, you're not going to probably do that good at any of them. So it might be better to just focus on one. So losing weight first, and then adding muscle on later might be a good idea. But some people say that they can get a body recomposition and lose fat, but the question is, it might take a lot longer to lose the fat though if you're doing it that way. I don't know. You're actually skinny, so I would just say trying to then it might be time to add some muscle on. Then, do you think twice a week is enough for chest and back resistance training with machine and weights? I'd say it depends on how hard you're going on each session. Because some people will just train every day and just work the whole body, but they don't do it too much. So it ultimately comes down to what you can recover from. So if your body can recover from training, each body part 3-4 times a week or every day, then that's okay. But if depending on how much volume you're doing on each body part and how intensely you're going with it, you got to find what works for you. If you're finding you're getting beat up with your workouts and you can't, then lower it. If you're going and if you feel like you're recovering too quickly or whatever, then I'd say that you might need to go a bit harder and do more. So it's all about finding that balance for you where you're getting enough volume, but you're not getting too much to where you can't recover. It's that sweet spot where you're going to make the most gains, I'd say. Because you don't want to stress your body out and not recover enough, but you also want to not be slacking off either. So yeah, chest then for back about 35 kg. 35 kg, is that what you do for back? You're on about bent over rows or something like that? Because there can be a good back builder. It's a good compound for your back. Just getting a barbell, you're going to work to some degree, you're going to work your lats, you're going to work your inner back muscles, and you might even work some of your spinal erectors from being in that sort of bent over position. Hope you have a good weekend. Yeah, you too, Macman. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. Thank you for stopping by. Just talking about diet and exercise at the moment and what the best strategy is for like I said, if your goal is to lose weight, then I would say that it's probably better off not going too hard with the exercise and sticking around zone 2, because if you go too high, then what happens is you burn up glycogen. Your body then starts to crave more fuel. So then it's yeah. So I remember someone was, watching some live once, and they were saying that exercise isn't a useful tool for weight loss and it should all be diet. But they were talking about, I think they were talking about glycogen and all that, but I think there's a nuance to it that that needs to be kind of talked about, because yeah, if you're going too hard with it, then yeah, of course, glycogen can, like I said, depleting glycogen can make you hungry, where you just want to eat more after that. You're going to probably want to eat more sugary food to replace that you've lost, which I don't think is a necessarily good idea when it's you've burnt up the glycogen just to then end up having to replace it. But yeah, zone 2, they reckon, is better for that, because you're not burning as much glycogen. It's more body fat that you'll be tapping into potentially. So if you're in a calorie deficit, that is. Yeah, best way to build up glycogen levels, I'd just say it'll happen over time through just, your body will start to become better at taking it up. But I'd say just focus on eating carbohydrates and and training hard, and your body will then naturally build up its ability to store that as an energy source. Yeah, doing good away. Get some food in today and some workout sticker. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do a time trial on the rowing machine later, so I'm gonna see how I get on with that, because I want to see if I can improve on it again. I think I can, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think I can really smash the time again. But yeah, it's just great to see that I'm continuing to make improvements with the fitness, and Yeah. Carbs, possibly bananas. Yeah, they're a good one for like quick energy. I like bananas. Yeah. I might have some before the workout actually. Yeah, bananas are a good one just because some people use it on like bike ride. I remember I used to sometimes have it on the bike ride when I go out, and it's a good one. So I remember someone was saying, don't eat a chocolate bar because it'll just deplete it too quickly. Whereas with bananas, it's like you'll get a little bit more of a. It's not slow release, but it's still pretty quick release. But it's at least it has something. At least it has some fiber to inhibit it a little bit. Because the problem with like having too much of the quick release carbs that they just it will burn you up very quickly. It will burn out your system in no time. It's like yeah, if you just have that, I think. So you want to have maybe some more complex carbs as well, but yeah. 2,000 meters. Yeah, I'm gonna do 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters rowing. I like to just do kind of like that sort of distance, and we'll see how it goes. I think I can improve, but we'll see. I don't know whether to like try and get a record of it or something, and yeah. So I could just take my phone in with me and just like and take a picture of it and show you guys what time I get. But yeah, I want to see if this beta alanine starts to work. I don't think it. I've only been taking it the last few days, so I don't think it will have done much yet. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Maybe I'll exceed my expectations. Who knows? But if you go out like feeling positive about it, and you're more likely to smash it, I think. Whereas if you go out and you feel like you're just not gonna do well, you're less likely to actually do it, I think. So a lot of it's a mindset that we go out with. We go out to the gym with the right mindset. I find that when I'm in a more positive mood and my mindset's better, I tend to get a lot more PRs and stuff like that. Like where I'll see records on like the squats and things like that. I've got some old training patterns for Leander Club for the Olympics squad qualification. Oh, really? What's that about? Yeah. I'd love to just be able to like do a record on the rowing machine. Yeah, I want to see if I can get towards like 3 minutes. That would be cool. Well, the absolute world record for a man is 2:38, which is I've still got a way to go to get anywhere near that. But yeah, that's the indoor record. So yeah. What's this? How to roll faster. Let's have a look at this. Short distance roll technique tips. I want to, yeah, because I could look at like how to roll faster so I can like improve my technique, because a lot of it's about technique, because a lot of people might be having suboptimal technique that they're not using their body in the most efficient way. Like for example, running where the stride isn't right, for example, to do a stride length and all that, and you have to try and tweak it. Because there's like science on like how, in terms of like physics and of how, like certain strides will, generate different levels of force and stuff like that. And the 2,000 meters, the qualifying time was 6:04 to 6:12. You mean minutes? Are you saying, or you're on a rowing machine or something? But yeah, we're going to see how we do today. The end about that's so that to qualify for the Olympics. But yeah, it's rowing's a good workout, I'd say. To finish 2,000 on a rowing machine, that is a crazy time. But obviously those are world class times. So they'd be doing like 1,000 meters in like under 3 minutes. So for me to like get that kind of level, I'd have to, So I'm just looking at like world record 1K holder Big Phil, somebody. Yeah, what's this about? Body position, stroke length. Just looking at that at the moment. So yeah, see what kind of like I can do to like improve it. What's that? No, for one of the Olympic training teams. All right. Then they select a 4 or 8 team from the squads, right? Yeah, obviously they need to be like at the top tier, don't they, you know? Otherwise, well, it's obvious. But yeah, rowing works a lot of like upper body, but it also works legs quite a lot as well because of you're getting a lot of leg drive. But you're getting like, I think it'll work chest to some degree as well because of you get that stretch. So when you're pulling back, you feel like when you're pulling back, you're gonna get that stretch on the pecs. So if you're going for like sprints and stuff like that, that might be a good one for like building fast twitch muscle, but I don't know if it's really. I mean, maybe if you're a complete beginner, like rowing might be enough to build a bit of muscle, but yeah, quads and glutes, back, also core. Yeah, there's a lot of muscles trained in rowing. It's kind of like swimming. Swimming's a good one as well for like full body conditioning. But yeah, the only thing is there's no like eccentric part of it. They could argue that muscle is gained in the eccentric part, but I'm like, I don't know like if it's really that important when it comes to like going explosive and like, for example, with sprinting. Some people say that they can build quads with that, but yeah, I think I've got like the right build for like rowing, for like 1,000-meter rowing or something. Like you want to have like a sort of quite a lean muscular build because you don't have too much body fat because that's going to like hold you back, I think, because that extra like inertia, it's going to like even though body fat can help certain things, but generally it's going to be like I think on rowing you're going to probably find that it's going to slow you down. But yeah, core is going to be obviously trained quite a bit because of obviously all the there's going to be a lot of what's it called, like hinging movement going on. So I don't know if that actually though. I find that core works more in terms of like what they call it, like spine flexion. So when you're doing like crunches, that spine flexion, that sort of bending slightly, that's what generates that tension in the what they call it, the rectus abdominis. But there might be other muscles that it's training as well, like the stabilizer muscles in the core, like the transverse abdominis. Those have worked a lot in like planks. So yeah, anything else? I wasn't even going to stay on this long, but I always end up going on way longer than I was intending to, but but yeah, it's good to find like a workout like that which works for the whole body. It's just yeah. I'd rather do that than burpees, to be honest. I don't know. I'm personally, I'm not like that big on burpees. I'm not really like to do like whole loads of reps of them. I think it's just because of my genetics or whatever. Like I'm not as inclined for that because longer limbs, it's going to take a lot more force to do it. Enjoy weekend, enjoy the rowing test. Good to warm up first. Yeah, I should probably do some kind of like, maybe I could do like a few jumping jacks to warm up or something, and just, because I might not get like the best time for it. Or maybe just do like a kind of, maybe just to do a bit of like a kind of, either that or just start off slow, just to get the heart rate up a bit and warm the muscles. Because that can be a mistake where you don't like warm up properly, and there's more of a risk of injury then as well, so. But yeah, it's 2,000 meters becomes more endurance at that point, I think. But yeah, I think I'd be probably quite good at 1,000 meters, and I could keep getting better at it. I think I'm probably like one of the fastest in this like online fitness community on that, actually. So like all these frigging people that, yeah, they might be great with their burpees and all that, but could they beat me on the rowing though? Could they beat me on the 1,000 meter rowing challenge? Because I doubt that they could. I'm actually wondering if having long arms might be a good thing and long legs good for the rowing, because you're able to generate more power. Like it might be that you're able to like, I don't know, I don't have to find out about that actually. Let's have a look, because maybe that's where I can actually sort of leverage height. Is being taller good for rowing machine? What's this? Better to start off with a slow rowing practice, 2,000 meters long, back and arms good. I could just do like a kind of warm-up set, if you will. Yes, being taller can be advantageous on a rowing machine due to the longer stroke length it allows, but it's not the only factor determining success. Tall individuals naturally have longer limbs, enabling them to generate a more powerful and longer stroke. However, shorter rowers can compensate with faster stroke rates and efficient recovery techniques. So I wonder, yeah, if like, so basically what it's saying is that it's saying if you're moving your boat or rowing machine through a greater range of movement than someone else, you may have an advantage. Yeah, it all depends if you've got like, if you still have like a fast stroke with the longer limbs or something, but yeah, 6'3" plus. All right, I'm about 6'4", so I'd probably be ideal for that. I think sprinting as well is ideal for taller people, and that's one thing I'm pretty good at as well, like short bursts. But yeah, whereas shorter people tend to be better at like running longer distance, I think, as well as like they also tend to be better at like some other sports, like I said, they would probably be better at like burpees and also like calisthenics exercises like pull-ups, dips, that kind of stuff, because their bodies are, even push-ups they might have a slight advantage at as well, because I just find I just can't do as many of push-ups as some of these short guys. Like my push-ups are like maybe a bit above average in terms of my output, but it's like, if I was shorter, I'd probably be able to do about maybe 40, 50 push-ups in a row, something like that. So it's just, you've just got to like kind of deal with that. It's like, we're all dealt a different hand, but we've got to try and play that hand the best that we can, no matter how bad it is. It's like, we can't just be like defeatist and all that. What's that mean? Are you off now? I'm going to try and get this live to like 500 views before I go. I want to see it get to 500. We're on 479 now. And then I really will be getting off and just get some food, do the workout. But yeah, fueling up before workouts like crucial. Like getting the carbs in is good. That's where you're going to be able to, to be able to fuel that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just not going to be performing at your optimal. Yes, off outside, enjoy weekend. Yeah, if actually weather's looking nice now. We've got some sun coming out, so yeah. Anyone else still here? Let me know. It's like I've been wanting to try and get like some kind of. I'm not necessarily a world record, but like close to it on something. But I feel like because I actually got confused because when it said about my times on a friggin' treadmill, I thought I was getting some crazy like almost like world record time. Turns out it was in kilometers per hour, so that was a bit of a disappointment. But yeah, because I thought this seems a bit too good to be true. How is it that I'm getting a mile in almost like 4 minutes or something? But that was not true. Yeah. But yeah, in reality, it was like, yeah, I'm nowhere near. Oh well, but I think that, like I said, with rowing, I could definitely get towards like a record time. I'm hoping I could get down to about 3 minutes. Yeah, I want to be able to like be at that level. I want to see where I can push myself. So be able every week to see improvements, because there's so far I can go. If I can do 3:54 now, then I think I can do quicker than that, actually. I could have probably gone a little bit quicker, but I just kind of like, sometimes we like might leave a bit in the tank, possibly. It's just, if we're in like a very like competitive like environment, that could help. Like if you're with other people, it's like you're gonna, like your mindset's different. It's like, you start to go into that kind of fight or flight mode, and it's like you're just in that moment where it's like, I need to get this done. And you just kind of like, the thoughts of like pain and the discomfort, that all goes because all your mind is on like, I need to win this thing. So if you can kind of like divert your mind from all the discomfort and you're just focusing on beating your opponent or so, then that's what's going to like set you apart. Now, of course, yeah, it's going to like, you're going to have that discomfort, but like, yeah, it's just, it all comes down to how much you're able to just sort of ignore it and just keep going. It's that mental resilience I was talking about. It's like, it just does something to you when you're actually in that competitive environment, I think. But for me, it's just about trying to get that time. I've seen, like the time I had before. So it's important that you track things, I think. Because when you track things, you can sort of like have like a benchmark to work past. It's like, for example, same with like, if you run like a mile in a certain time, then, okay, I need to do it quicker next time. That helps you just to keep making progress. Otherwise, you might not be making any progress. You're just going at the same pace every time. You might start to kind of stay in your comfort zone more and just, Anyway, still 3 people in here apparently, but I hope everyone's well. It's like, nothing good ends up coming from the comfort zone. You just kind of stay stuck and just spinning your wheels and not actually making any progress. You're going to have to try and, if you want to get real progress, then you have to like, just keep that a track of like, okay, well, what's my record time? I need to beat that. You just keep that in mind. It's like, right, when you're seeing that, like you're getting to like the last 100 meters, and it's like, okay, I need to really fucking go for it here. And then it's like, and then the next time it's like, you're going to keep upping the ante and being like, I'm going to keep going faster. And eventually it will start to level off because we start to get towards like a natural ceiling, if you will. Like for example, with muscle building, after a few years of training, then you might find that you're really hardly making any progress. You might just be making like maybe 1 or 2 pounds of muscle gain a year or something, and that's just naturally going to happen. This is why a lot of people end up taking shortcuts and trying to keep making progress, and I don't really agree with doing that. There's like too many people just kind of like, it's all about the aesthetics, and but also like they're trying to compete in a kind of unhealthy way. Like, why can't you just stay in the natural divisions, and just, why do you need to go to like Mr. Olympia or something like that and try to get your, was it IFBB Pro card at the expense of your long-term health? It's like, yeah, I want to like, beat records and stuff like that, but I also don't want to like cheat, because you're cheating yourself doing that. You're cheating, your long-term health, because that ain't going to be sustainable. It's like, look at what happens to a lot of these people who end up frail, end up with all sorts of problems. Look at what happened with Ronnie Coleman. Took things too far and then ended up basically in a wheelchair. So I think it's a cautionary tale to people to not get carried away with things, because now, yeah, maybe he says, oh yeah, I wouldn't, I don't regret doing it, but some people might look back and be like, yeah, I made a messed up decision there, I should have just quit while I was ahead. Because I think if he'd have just listened to his body and just quit, and just like, he didn't have to keep getting more Olympia titles, then he could have just like, he could have saved himself. Why? It's like, once you've won that, why do you need to keep winning it, kind of thing? It gets toxic where it's like, one title isn't enough. You need to keep getting titles. You keep getting that dopamine hit or whatever. But once you've won it, it's like, you've won it, Why do you need to do it again? I don't understand it really, but anyway, is anybody still there? Or we'll be back on later. Been spending a lot of time lately doing these things, but yeah, I'll let you guys know what the record, if I get a record time. So I'm just waiting until this live gets to 500 views. I'm on 498. I need to wait until we get there. I kind of can be a bit like that sometimes, where I'm like, shit, I need to like get to that number. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, just be on for another minute, guys. But yeah, how do you find the new setup, guys? I think it looks kind of cool. It looks quite professional, I think. So I want to try and, that's kind of how I'm going to brand going forward, be a bit more professional, instead of just being kind of sloppy and just kind of slapdash with things. And just, I need to make sure that I give off that good first impression with the channel, that people take me seriously. Otherwise, why bother at all? I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to try and build a channel that I need to like really just go as hard as I can with it, and just like with everything, it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's like when my fitness, I'm like, I want to go as hard as I can, push myself to my limits. And then when I'm doing like my channel, I also want to do that and apply that same kind of ethic, So that it's about the work ethic, it's if you ain't got that work ethic, then you ain't getting anywhere. And some people might need to dig deep within themselves to find that ethic there, find that purpose behind it. What is your purpose to do all that, we all need to find that purpose behind why we're doing what we're doing, kind of thing. Otherwise, you're just going to fall off. So yeah, just look within, and just smash your goals. We'll have a lot of untapped potential, and just go out and smash it. So with that being said, have a great day, everyone. Stay well, stay healthy, and stay safe. I'll be back later, 7 p.m. UK time. Peace out, everyone. Bye.